Hello, my little spooky ghouls and goblins! Welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to another fall video. I hope you guys are enjoying the season as much as me. I'm having the best time ever enjoying the fall. Obviously, it's my favorite season. Today's episode of what I'm doing this fall is what I'm reading this fall. So I want to get into some of the books that I've already read this fall, some of the books that I'm going to be reading this fall, some of the books that I'm reading literally right now, literally stopped reading to come and film this video. And I have a lot of travel coming up in the fall as always. So a lot of these books will be really good for that. You know, you gotta have a really good and interesting travel book or else, you know, traveling becomes very unfun very, very quickly. So we've got our pumpkin coffee here. Look how cute this cup is. Oh, you know what's funny is that I made a list of all the books on my phone. Why did I do that? Because I'm recording on my phone. Alas, so let's start with some of the books that I've already read this fall because fall starts as soon as possible. I mean, we've been over this, but to get myself in the mood for fall, I start reading fall books as soon as possible. I enjoy my summer books when it's summertime and then I immediately move into fall books. So last year I read a ton of Grady Hendrix and he writes like horror spooky books and I really enjoyed that. I really liked reading his books. It was just like a perfect spooky fall vibe. But instead, I started a little bit more mild this year and I started our fall season off by reading Binding 13 and Keeping 13. So right here I have this old cover of Binding 13 and I actually listened to the audiobook. I think I mentioned it in one of my old book videos, but I started listening to the audiobook of these when I was traveling right at the beginning of September. And when I tell you guys, like I was sitting on the plane, like waiting with bated breath, I was so interested in this story, like it kept me so interested the entire time. I never, ever rate contemporary romance.
We've talked about this.
I never rate contemporary romance very high just because I actually don't know why. It's just, you know, I'm like, oh, it's just like a sweet little love story. That's great, love it, 3 stars. And that's how I do it. If I love it, it's a 3 stars typically. I love a romance. Everybody does, but it's not necessarily like the most crazy impactful book I've ever read, right? Well, I did something impulsive and I rated both the Binding 13 and Keeping 13 5 stars. Not like me at all. At first I was like, oh, it's just like a sweet little, you know, another sweet little story and I'm sure I'll love it because the setting is beautiful and interesting. The reason I read it during fall is because it's about rugby. Who's in my house? Sorry, the ghost was making an appearance. But it's about rugby and fall and the beginning of school. Ghost tried to choke me. So this book just gave off fall vibes. You know, here in like America, fall is football season. I don't care about sports really, but when I was in school, you know, football games were like a huge deal. And I think it's the same. It's like similar with rugby vibes. So I started reading it and I was on the plane and I was thoroughly enjoying these books. And so it led me to rate them 5 stars. I don't know why. It ended up being so impactful. Like it was so sweet and I don't know. Because I enjoyed it so much, I did end up giving it a 5 stars. Should it be a 4? Maybe. But honestly, you guys, like I enjoyed this book so much. Like every second I was like, what is happening? What's gonna happen next? The story's beautiful. The romance is very sweet. Felt very, very real. I've told you guys this before, but I appreciate books that are really long because they feel like real people. And if they feel like real people to me, then typically I am likely to rate the book a little bit higher. It gave off great like beginning of school vibes, really took me back to like being in high school, being in college, so maybe that's why it's just like a little nostalgic. Not that I went to school in Ireland, obviously, but just the vibes of it, beginning school, you know, fall sports, and it made my travel so much more enjoyable. So I'm sorry, I just had to go on a rant about that. What else did I read? Oh yeah, so in the spirit of something very fall, something I've seen going around a lot if you're like on BookTube, BookTok sides of social media, I saw the Pumpkin Spice Cafe going around. Not only is the cover of this book really, really cute, the story is really sweet. It's super cheesy, of course. Like it has to be, right? But it was just an enjoyable fall read, like really good fall vibes. I really liked it. I think I rated it like a 3 stars. Again, if it's a sweet, cozy romance and it's good, I will rate it a 3 stars typically. That's just like my ranking for these things. And it had a lot of fall elements to it. Like they went to like a farmer's market and sold cider donuts, and she thinks there's like a ghost in her house. Like it's very sweet and very cute. It'd make a very cute fall movie. So I really like that one. What else did I read? Okay, so I assessed the list just now to make sure I'm not missing anything. So I want to talk about what I'm currently reading right now because I feel like it's the spookiest of all of them. Currently, I am reading Slewfoot by Bram. And this was recommended to me like a million jillion times on like the horror side of Book Talk that I've been on, or the online horror book community. Always recommended Slewfoot, and I don't know why it took me so long to read it. I'm not sure, but this year finally I decided to listen to it on audiobook this year. And I'm about maybe 50% of the way through the book. And I'm really enjoying it so far. Honestly, it had a very slow start. It was good, but I honestly just felt really sad. It was just like really depressing and it made me a little stressed. I don't know, it was just like, it made me a little bit sad and, you know, the vibes were kind of low. But now that we're really getting into the plot, it's really good and I really like it. I love the like themes of this book. The themes are really strong. It's giving like the fairies and midsummer vibe. I don't know. It's very good. It still is a little depressing, but the reason it's depressing is because the themes are so strong in it. And I really like it. I'm enjoying it so far. I obviously don't know how it ends yet because I'm right in the middle of it, but I'll keep you guys updated in terms of my rating. But I think I highly recommend it for, you know, us horror book girlies. I think that you would like it. Okay, so that is what I have read and what I am currently reading, but now let's talk about what I'm going to read. I think I'm gonna go back to my roots, go back to last year and read another Grady Hendrix book. This is The Final Girl Support Group. I haven't read it yet. It's been in my collection for a hot second. And now is the perfect time. It's like the shortest book, so I could definitely read this in like one plane ride. This would be great to throw in my carry-on and I could finish it easily in one trip. I think that I'll like it. Like I said, I had a good time reading his books last year, so it couldn't be bad, right? Drink break. Okay. Also, going back to my roots, you guys, finally, this is the year I think I'm going to read The Kiss Curse. I read the XX like 2 years ago and I freaking loved it. I think it had like the best Halloween vibes of all of the cozy, like spooky fall time books. So I started reading this one, like literally didn't read much at all. I read like a few pages of it last year, I think, and it had the same amazing like best Halloween witchy vibes. So I have to read this year, you guys. Please, I have to. You have to keep me to that. I think I'm gonna read it more in October because we're still like sort of in September. These books by Erin Sterling are like the best fall Halloween vibes, you know what I mean? Like just so good, just so good. These and the books that are in the Payback's a Witch, From Bad to Cursed series, those have like the best Halloween vibes ever of all the fall books that I've read. So if you need like a Halloween book, this is the one. So I'm excited to read that. Okay, next is not quite a fall or Halloween book necessarily, but it's just been on my list to read next for a really long time. And I feel like just any fantasy is like sort of fantastical and spooky in a way. So the next on my list is The Veiled Kingdom. Again, not exactly a fall book, but it has elements of the fantastical in it. So I just kind of associate that with like Halloween and dressing up. I don't know. I've been really wanting to read this book. The cover's gorgeous. I've talked about it in a few of my videos. I really can't wait to read it. I know it's part of a duology, perhaps. It could be more than that, but maybe there's only 2 books out. I don't know. You know, I've seen it online on Book Talk a million times, but I really, really, really want to read it. I've had it for a little while now, so that's definitely going to get read sometime in the fall. Okay, bringing it back into the fall vibes. So this is more of a like paranormal Halloween-y book, and I am so excited.
Yeah.
You guys know for a fact how much I love Ali Hazelwood and her books, but this is her paranormal romance called Bride. Honestly, if you're watching this video, you've probably read it, but if you haven't, me neither, and I'm so excited to read it. I've had it for far too long without reading it. I think it came out last spring, February time. January, something like that. And oh my god, so I don't see any reason why I won't like this. I love paranormal romance. I love Allie Hazelwood's contemporary romance. Mash them together, it's gonna be great. I'm so excited. I might put this in my bag for the next trip I'm going on. My brother's getting married, so I am flying to go and obviously be there. And this will be the perfect book for that. Oh, I'm so excited. I can't wait, you guys. Oh my god. Okay, now I would also really like to read Not in Love by Allie Hazelwood this fall. Her books are, again, not necessarily fall, but if you want that like back to school vibe, I don't know, maybe I'm just a nerd, but like the beginning of fall semester of college and stuff like that, like grad school, anything, I don't know, it just makes me happy. I don't know why, I guess I considered it like a fresh start when I was in school, but I don't know, it just brings back memories and it gives me, you know, nostalgia or whatever, but I'm excited to read that. I don't know much about it, honestly, but her books are always obviously about like some sort of women in STEM sort of vibe, so I think that definitely brings back the like back to school vibes, and I do love reading her books in the fall. I just think it lines up. Like, I'm not in school anymore, but I don't know, something about that nostalgia is really like fall time for me. I'm also really excited to read Daydream by Hannah Grace. I love Hannah Grace's contemporary romance. I have a few favorite contemporary romance authors, and she is one of them, obviously including Allie Hazelwood, and I am so excited to read her next book. I literally wait. I wait so hard for her books. I don't know, I just really love the way she writes. Again, it's like a feel-good sort of romance, like nothing crazy. And they feel like real people. I don't know. Okay, I'm sorry. They just feel like real people to me, and I like that. So I'm really excited to read this because the girl is bookish, and hello. So I'm really excited. I think, again, it'll bring back that like school, back to school, fall vibes for me. I don't know. We shall see. I don't know. I'm a nerd or something like that. I don't know. I'm a nerd. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. This is unrelated, but I'm also, at the same time that I'm reading Slewfoot, I'm also reading Get a Life, Chloe Brown. This is so cute. This is so cute. This isn't fall, but it's so cute. All right, finally, the final book on our little list of fall books is not a novel, but it is a cookbook. I don't know if you guys care about this, but I love this cookbook so freaking much. My mom and I saw this one time in a local bookstore. Like the day it came out, and we didn't even know that it had come out. We just happened to see it. And then she ended up buying it for me for Christmas, and it is one of my favorite books I own. Look at this. Look at how beautiful it is. It is written by Deanna Huey, and it has enchanting recipes inspired by Hocus Pocus, Bewitched, Harry Potter, Charmed, Wicked, Sabrina, and more. It also has recipes from the Vampire Diaries in here, which...
Don't even get me started.
It's fall time, you know, I gotta rewatch it for the 15th time. I just love this book. I keep it out all the time, but during like the fall season, I have it like displayed. It's so amazing. Like, you don't even understand. There's so many good recipes in here. There's recipes from Spirited Away, the originals, Kiki's Delivery Service, Outlander. You guys, don't sleep on a cookbook. It's so exciting. Midnight Margaritas. Poison Apple Martini. Are you joking? That sounds freaking amazing. Just take a look at it. Oh my god, it's amazing. Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. They just have so many spooky, witchy like recipes in here. I'm obsessed. I think it's great. And I don't know if you guys are into like cookbooks. I don't know, but my mom like basically collects cookbooks. And I really hope I don't start that habit. But as you can see by the number of books I have, I think I'm destined. I think I'm destined for that life. Get yourself a cozy fall cookbook. Underrated. Get yourself a cozy fall cookbook. But anyway, guys, those are all the fall books that I'm either currently reading or I already have read or I'm going to read. But I really want to know what you guys are reading this fall. I always love to hear what you guys are reading. I want some recommendations. Please give them to me down below. I specifically need recommendations for like more spooky books, either horror, like actual horror books, or more Halloween time book vibes. Let me know. I want to know it all. But anyway, I hope you guys are still enjoying your fall, doing all the fun fall activities and reading all the fall books and eating all the fall foods. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Okay, love you. Bye.